Hi guys, I'm Shmi. Hello and welcome back to the channel where it is time to depart from the chaos of Las Vegas. It is a beautiful day right beside the Las Vegas Boulevard, the strip with all of the hotels, even down to the Eiffel Tower of Paris. It makes no sense at all, but we're heading off today with the AMG GT Black Series, that away, through the mountains and into Death Valley. Now, Death Valley is a very easy place to get lost. There are minimal gas stations. You have absolutely no phone signal. It is the hottest place on earth. It's actually the lowest place in the United States, but I tell you what, this car in solar beam yellow is going to look so good with that scenery over that way. In fact, today, this journey in the US will have clocked 7,000 miles since we set off from New York City with the GT Black Series. We're going into California to Los Angeles, technically you could say, completing the coast to coast, although do not fear, we're going to be going back the other way as well in the near future. First stop though, is that we need to get a full tank of fuel. We need to go and find a full tank of 100 octane gas on our way out of Las Vegas to minimize the troubles that we had with the Ford GT when we did the drive through Death Valley the other way about 3.5 years ago. I've got lots of memories of that, so let's gear up, let's get started, and let's head today with the GT Black Series to hopefully not get too lost in Death Valley. There's something really funny that I have to share with you out here in Las Vegas. If you're on the top floor of any of the car parks at any of the hotels, they all look like this. Donut marks, burnout marks. Look at the floor, burnt through the top layer just about everywhere. I mean, people are clearly having a little bit too much fun. I think the first time I was in one of these car parks was actually here with the Gumball 3000 back in 2015 when we did Stockholm to Las Vegas. We flew from Amsterdam to Reno, drove around California, came here to Vegas, we're staying at the Bellagio down that away. But it's time to escape from this. It's time to escape from Vegas. I'm not sure if we're going to be back again. Before we're on the road though, quickly, our GTBS tour t-shirt here in the US, check those out at cheers.shmeon50.com, the Cheers by Shmeon 50 shop, if you haven't already. I think it pretty accurately encapsulates what this tour is all about. Doing miles, enjoying the car, driving it. The boot, the trunk is absolutely stuffed with everything that we've picked up along the way, as well as the stuff we've got, because it's been quite the journey. But we've got the car, tires are in good shape, everything's in good order. And when you go for a leg like this, you know, it's a 400-mile drive ahead of us, often that way, you need to prepare a bit in advance in case things kind of go upside down very quickly. We've got a load of water, it's winter time, it's not too hot, but Death Valley has been 57 degrees Celsius in the past. Yeah, that's really, 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 really hot, to sum it up briefly. Anyway, let's go to a place I have in mind to go and get a full tank of gas, because we're only down 100 miles or so, maybe a quarter, a third of a tank, but I don't trust it. I want to make sure we get out the other side without problems. So let's do this, let's hop in, let's go. The first problem that we're about to have, that you will see, this sounds good in the morning, as we head out from the top of the garage, is that we've got to get down here. That means ramps, and the ramps here are particularly vicious. Check this out, there's no way to get around this, absolutely no way. Drive around here, as much angle as I take over here, wait for it. Oh, we did! We escaped. I was gonna say we'd scrape the bottom of the car. We actually managed to get over that one. Probably not gonna be so lucky with the next one, because I can't take so much angle on it. It doesn't really matter, but listening to it. Okay, I don't even know if you can hear that over the noise of the car, but basically all of the aero under the body of this car, thankfully, is quite soft. It's soft, bendy plastic, so you're not destroying or snapping anything off like on a McLaren, as I've had in the past, for example. Yeah, every single ridge is a scrape. Right, let's make our way out of this garage somehow and onwards towards the first gas station stop to every time to make sure that we're not going to have that problem, even though, like I said, look at this, we've only gone 91 miles since the last fill up, quarter of a tank, but I'm not taking chances. I'm not taking chances, and if I go with a full tank of 100 octane now, it means that later on in the journey I can fill up with like 91 or something and average it out when I'm halfway down or even 2/3 of the way down, and we'll make it work. And we will make it onwards all the way towards our destination today. So, out we head. This is another little fun thing. 11,999 miles. It's at 100.1. At about 100.4 it will change to 12,000 which is actually quite crazy if you think about it, to have 12,000 miles on an AMG GT Black Series. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, there we go. 12,000. Now I know some of the factory test cars have more than that, but I would bet this is the highest mileage customer AMG GT Black Series out there. If someone's done more, I'm going to try my hardest to keep going with it, because it's a car to drive for things like this. It's so good for things like this. It's brilliant, and driving it through Death Valley, this will be the 4th time that I've gone this way through Death Valley. The first was back in 2012, on Gumball in fact, where the main Gumball route went through Death Valley. The guys I was with wanted to go direct to LA after a big party in Vegas, and I wanted to go, so I rented a Camaro actually and drove through Death Valley. Then in 2015, drove with the 918 Spider the opposite way this way, then did the Ford GT in 2019, and now we're doing the GT Black Series that way. So it'll be twice in each direction with a pretty cool list of cars actually, kind of crazy. But yeah, our first stop is in 5 minutes to get some good fuel, or gas. It confuses me always because a gas is not a liquid, but gas is obviously gasoline, into this thing. This is absolutely what you want to see. 100 octane, I think he's doing the same. That's funny. Okay, let me try and go around because I can use the one on the other side. But 100 octane gas right here in Vegas. This is the good stuff. The only problem is it's $10 a gallon, and $10 a gallon adds up fast, but I think it works out at the moment for premium in the UK at about $8.50, $9 a gallon anyway. So it kind of just feels like home pricing, even though I know here it's crazy, crazy expensive. Anyways, let's go get it done. We have a full tank, and the good news, well, firstly, the bad news actually, 9.999, not what you want. The good news though is a full tank of 100 means when we can no longer find good fuel, because in Death Valley you basically have, I think, 87, maybe 89, because we've got 100, if we fill halfway through the tank after about 175, 200 miles with even 87, we'd average at about 93, 94, and this needs 93 minimum because it's tuned, so that would be completely fine to get us, well, 500 or 600 miles in total. So let's continue. I was just thinking that the clouds are looking pretty grey, and it's raining. It's raining in Las Vegas. This is not what I expected. Of course it rains here every now and then, but not very frequently. I'm hoping that's not going to be the story of the day, and it's just like a shower that's going to come and go, because the incredible scenery awaits, and it'd be nice to have some photos on the 1 or 2 days of the year where it rains. Gosh, could you imagine? That would not be some good luck. But yeah, didn't expect this. In very good news, it's now clear and dry. We seem to be quite near Area 51. I didn't really know that was here, but there's an alien sky bar, and there's the Area 51 Alien Center. So we're probably in that kind of area. I'm trying to work out which part of the ground here is the best to drive on, because we're about to turn off. We've actually just gone past the exit for the area where the record run was done by Koenigsegg, and then where SSC did that whole thing, which goes to Spring Mountain. I actually remember pulling in here a long, long time ago. I remember pulling into this kind of chill out area. Can I go in front of that truck? I think I can go in front of that truck. Around this way, because Death Valley is out this way in front of us, looking very bright blue skies, which is what we like, and a policeman right here. We're not doing anything wrong, I promise, but we probably just look like we're doing something wrong, because yellow AMG GT Black Series with the steering wheel on this side with plates that nobody can recognize. We have officially arrived then at the entrance to Death Valley National Park, and in fact when we came through with the Ford GT, we actually took the thumbnail for the video in front of the equivalent sign at one of the other entrances, because obviously we were going in the opposite direction. And thinking about it, the time that I mentioned on Gumball when we were coming the other way from LA, I actually hopped on board for part of the run with Joel Deadmau5 in his McLaren P1. I've been here in some really, really cool cars, but now of course with this, and despite the fact that it holds the record for the highest temperature ever recorded on this planet, it's really cold today. It's really, really cold. We're actually, at the moment, it's about 3,000 foot elevation, so just shy of 1,000 meters up, a kilometer up above sea level. As we go that way, we're going to be descending, I think, for a while, and then there are some twisty roads up the other side. But yeah, got to get a few photos while we're here, right? Just look at this place. We're descending down into the valley, and it's so unreal. There have been loads of movies filmed here over the years just because of this kind of scenery, because of what we're looking at. And it sinks down. Obviously out here it's freezing at night and boiling hot in the day, and in summer I've driven through here in days when cold AC on full blast in the car has been still only enough to just about keep it pleasant. It's really, really, really full on. And obviously loads of people stop, get pictures. There are loads of different things as you make your way through. But I do know that it's going to be a while before we find another gas station, which is why it is quite helpful that we've still got about 2/3 of a tank, just over half. Look at this. It's all the way down till we're below sea level. At this moment, my ears are popping, obviously as we're descending. We've got absolutely nothing in terms of phone signal. Completely searching network. The navigation has lost everything. It doesn't know where we are. And actually on that, before you ask why I'm not using the built-in nav, European car, this system doesn't have a clue where we are. Plus, I like using Waze. It's the best for this kind of thing, unless you don't have signal. Now, as amazing as this is, being here, if we were to not entirely know where we're going, would be a bit of a disaster. A bit is an understatement. Or if something went wrong, it would be a bit of a disaster, because no phone signal. If we had a puncture here, what are you going to do? Kind of wave down other people who go past and hope that it ends up okay? I don't really know. Just got to hope we don't end up in that situation. Oh, in fact, it looked like he had a tyre inflator or something on that Bronco. I don't know. Anyway, look at this. We're just going downhill here. My ears have gone again. Completely gone again. Periodically, you go past signs that tell you your elevation, but I guess it's the most exciting when you go under sea level. This is where we have sea level elevation. So we're now below sea level. This GT Black Series is in some form underwater, although thankfully not literally underwater. That would not end up going in our favour very much. But now we descend down to the bottom, which I believe is something like 280 foot under sea level, which is around 80 something meters, around about that. So we head down. It's really quite eerie actually, because you now have this massively flat valley in the complete middle of the mountains on either side. And this down here is where we had the lunch checkpoint on Gumball in 2012, 10.5 years ago. Crazy to think. Oh, what's that? Yep, there's just an animal chilling. Hi there. Please don't run into the road. Look after yourself. He's clearly a bit blasé about cars driving past. I wasn't expecting this, but there's a whole stream across the road. Kind of like my nice clean car. I guess it got rained on earlier, right? So it's not that clean. But yeah, that's a bit of a surprise. I wasn't expecting that here. How random. Completely random. Look at this. The road in front of us. Just straight down, flat across the bottom of the valley. This is extraordinary. We've gone through Furnace Creek, which is where the record was set. Up ahead of us is Stovepipe Wells. That's basically where we're going next. And by the way, all of this, I should say at this point, is in California. We entered California before Death Valley Junction, so this car has now made another state for the first time. We didn't actually see the sign, which is, it is what it is. I'm not sure where the lowest point is, but I tell you what, this feels pretty surreal right now, being down here towards the very bottom of the valley. Here in Stovepipe Wells, that's where we managed to find some gas for the Ford GT when it was running low. And in fact, on the left side is where the video started with Deadmau5 in the P1 way back when, here in Stovepipe Wells. It's at this moment I realise my microphone isn't turned on. Whoops, I'm going to blame that on a long day on the road, but we found ourselves in a bit of a pickle with some roadworks that were warning us of a 2-hour delay. Thankfully, that was not the case, as we followed a pilot vehicle through an area with a whole lot of rocks that had fallen on the road, obviously things that could cause a lot of damage to some lovely carbon fibre splitters. But then it was on to some incredible roads, and this is where I am spectacularly frustrated not to have the full video to share with you exactly where a car like the AMG GT Black Series needs to be driven, as the roads twist and meander up over the passes towards the peak with a stunning view and absolutely no phone signal, completely lost in the middle of nowhere, no navigation. If you didn't know where you were or what you were doing, this would be a little bit of a disaster. We've exited Death Valley, and in fact, Does this say? No, I was wondering if that sign might say Los Angeles. But basically, we're in Olancha, I think it's called, and this is where we have a mobile gas station, so we can fill up. So we have about a third of a tank to go. We've driven 230.9 miles, and I suppose if we fill up now with a full tank of 91, that's going to average at something like 94 or even 95 in the tank, which is perfect, to be honest. I actually remember filling up in here on Gumball way back when. But we'll be able to do this. And actually, I've also just realised on this drive, because we've still got about 180 miles to go, we're going to go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the Odo, which is kind of fun as well. But yes, our first civilization stop. It's only 7 degrees Celsius right now. That's really cold. What do we have here? Do we have 91? Yeah, we have 91. Good. That's all we need, really. So we'll pull up here, fill the tank back up, and we'll be good to go. Wow, it's up to $6. California, hey? I think that's been very well documented. It's funny the way it does that. The stop-start, it kind of stops, and then when you've taken your belt off, it starts again. Oh well. 2 things. Firstly, this must be the slowest I've ever seen a fill run. And I just stopped it and started it again, and it didn't get any faster. But we need to put like 14 gallons into here, or something like that. It's going to take a while. It's going to be like 10 minutes, 15 minutes of standing here. Hey, you could even charge an EV faster. No, this still couldn't be faster. The other thing is, this is like advertising everything it can possibly advertise at us, as loud as it possibly can. That's very America, isn't it? Although I'm now hungry, very hungry. I gotta try this again, because this is way too slow. Something's very wrong with this. It can't possibly need that long. Has it got any faster? Nope. Nope. Patience it's gonna be. Patience it's gonna be. Oh well. Eventually, that finished, and then we pulled out onto the road, only to join about a 20-minute traffic jam. Great, but we're now making our way. The sun has set behind the mountains for 2 hours and 45 minutes onwards towards Beverly Hills. It's a long old drive still in front of us, but you know what? It's going to be super cool to have this car in LA, to know that we started in New York City, to know that we've traversed across the country, and today I've driven through Death Valley in California, from Nevada, from Las Vegas. It's a little bit crazy really, but anyway, let's hope it goes uneventfully from here to, let's say, the finish line of today. In the continued pursuit for cool numbers on the dashboard, any second we will have, wait for it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12,345 miles. But we're about to have a little diversion for something called the Musical Road. Bear with me here. The idea of this bit of road then, here in Lancaster, California, is that it plays music. This is the sign, this is the start, the Musical Road. You need to go 55 miles per hour. That's the William Tell Overture. It's a little bit... That's really weird. Really, really, really weird. But why not, hey? Right, let's spin around and head back to where we were going down the main highway. It's only a mile off the highway, so yeah, something unusual to come and check out if you're ever in this area. In Lancaster, California, on the way down to LA. Round we go. Right, normal engine. We've made it. In front of us are the lights of Los Angeles. As we come down the 405 towards Santa Monica at the moment. I've been here many times over the years, but we're actually going to head now to Rodeo Drive, because there'll be something about having this car there, even though it's into the evening. I don't know, just years of car spotting in LA, spending so much time there at different events, and of course seeing so many videos from Damon and Dave, DDE and the guys and everyone else. So we'll swing by, not in a noisy antisocial way, just in a kind of going their way. So we're actually taking Sunset Boulevard as our exit, off here and then onwards into town. Here we are then, Beverly Hills, the Beverly Wilshire Hotel. This is where you find a slew of supercars everywhere. Haven't seen anything yet though, but this is Rodeo Drive. This is the famous upmarket shopping street of Los Angeles. And here we are. Drove exactly here in the Ford GT. Feels crazy to think, is that a Hummer EV coming towards us? That light bar at the front is so distinct. Yeah, this is where those are meant to be driven. This is the city for those to be enjoyed. I'm sure they're very capable. I guess being spotted a little bit as we head up, because a little bit further up is where we have Bijan. Where is it? Because I filmed the Bijan Veyron, Rolls-Royce Phantom Drophead, and plenty more here over the years in their kind of reserved parking spot right outside, which is cool. I think it's here. I think I'm not going to be able to pull in right now. Maybe I can squeeze in at the front here. Is this a parking space? Yes, this is good. We can stop here, I think. Crazy. Here we are, outside Hermes, Armani, Louis Vuitton, Vera Wang here. The fancy part of town. Let us slide this closer to the curb, go to the front space. But yeah, we have made it. Here we are, Beverly Hills, Los Angeles. 911 GT3. That's quite loud. That's definitely not so stock. Is that a 991.1 GT3? I've just realized the Bijan is now on that side of the road. Definitely moved. Last time I was here, it was on this side of the road. But the last time I was here was a year and a half ago. Maybach cruising by. That's lovely. It's kind of fun with the illuminated Maybach badges on the back and on the sides. On the C-pillars. Yes, that sounds about right. Anyway, do not forget that we have our GTBS US Tour t-shirt and other designs, hoodies, other things as well, all in the Cheers by Schweet 150 shop. Yep, very LA, sirens going by. Thankfully, we haven't had any of that drama really while we've been at this. And we've had an immense amount of practicality for a car that is as capable as this is. You know, to think that this thing can blast around the Nordschleife. Of course, the AMG 1 has now taken the record. Haven't really spoken about that on the channel, but I've driven this at COTA. I've done so much more with this, and you can still do 7,000 miles. We've literally driven more than 7,000 miles in the USA with the GT Black Series, and that's probably half of what we're going to do. The thing I do need to plan for now is to get it serviced. It's going to need a service at some point soon, because I feel like if we keep going and keep going and keep going, it's going to be a touch too much for it. We shall see exactly how that goes, but today, thankfully, we did not get too lost. We made it through Death Valley. We had an amazing time, wonderful roads to drive, got some lovely photos of the car as well, and now we're here. We're here with the lights, right? Look at all of this, look at all the lights and craziness and all of the trees. It's like they're kind of weeping a little bit, but I don't know, I'm just a little bit exhausted. So yes, that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Do check out the t-shirts designs in the Cheers by Schweet 150 shop, and I shall see you again very soon. Cheers.